Ciao, my name is Matilda Pope, and this is the secret ingredient. I'm going to spend the next few minutes preparing a spring pasta dish that's both simple to make and very delicious. And since this is the secret ingredient, there's going to be one secret ingredient added in later which will give this dish an extra layer of flavor and make it very, very tasty. The dish is Penne con Asparagus and Tomatoes, and that means penne with asparagus and tomatoes. So let's get started. First things first. Since the pasta is going to take about 12 minutes to cook, we are going to make our pasta, and by the time the pasta is cooked, the sauce will also be finished. Now it's important that you flavor the pasta at this point by adding salt. I would also like to say that some people add oil into their boiling water, but I don't recommend that because when you use the oil, the sauces that you make tend to slip off the pasta. What we want to do is absorb the pasta, absorb the flavor, not have it slip off. So we're going to salt our water. And we're going to add a ½ pound of penne di gatti. Penne di gatti literally means penne with lines, and I really love to use this kind of pasta because again, it takes in the sauces and the flavor. So we'll salt it, and we'll add it. You stir it. Make sure you do that so it doesn't stick. And then we'll come back occasionally to it and we'll keep stirring. Now, I'm going to tell you all the ingredients that you'll need for this dish. A ¼ cup of olive oil, 2 to 3 minced garlic cloves. If you have large ones, use 2. If you have small ones, use 3. 1 bunch of asparagus, 8 plum tomatoes, chopped. Salt, pepper, ¼ cup of white wine, Parmigiano Reggiano, basil, and the secret ingredient, which I will reveal to you later. So we're going to get the sauce started, and we'll put our oil in, and our garlic. Let that warm just for a minute. Now, to let you know about the garlic, you want it to get the great flavor of garlic, but you don't want to brown the garlic because then the beautiful flavor and the aroma turns burnt. So keep it cooked but not burnt. Okay. Alright, stir this up, get it going. I already can smell the garlic. It smells really good. Let's see, you want to make sure we're on about medium. Yep. Okay, here's the asparagus. We're going to add that in. And while that's cooking, I'm going to show you how you go about cutting this asparagus. You know, asparagus is tricky because there's a very hard part to it that you don't want to include in your recipe. So this is what you do. You hold it, you bend it. The part that breaks off, that's the part you don't want. And then I want you to cut it diagonally, like this. About the size of the penne, which is nice, because it keeps it uniform. And I'll do this one for you too. Discard that. Diagonal cut, again. Alright, let's check it out. Let's see how we're doing here. Starting to sizzle. And you want it to get a little tender, and you don't want to overcook it. You want it to keep the beautiful green color that it has. And as you can see, I'm stirring the pasta a little bit too. Make sure that doesn't stick. And this is looking good. Now, also important in cooking is to flavor every level, every layer of food that you have, all along the way. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper onto my asparagus so it has its own flavor. So now you got some flavor here, You've salted your penne, and all the flavors are going to come together real soon. Now I'm going to show you how to handle these plum tomatoes. You cut off the stem part. You cut the plum tomato in half. Now, what I like to do is squeeze out the seeds. You don't need all these extra seeds in your dish. And you squeeze them all out, and then you cut each piece. I would cut each piece about 8 pieces, again, depending on how large it is. And you do the other one. And you like to keep the pieces all about the same. So it's nice to keep things uniform and all about the same size. This way they cook evenly and they look pretty. So I think it's time that we can add all of our tomatoes in. And I'll check the pasta once again. Okay, let's add the plum tomatoes. Hear that sizzle? Look how pretty. Isn't it gorgeous? You hear the sizzle, the red and the green. Look how bright those asparagus are, gorgeous. And how red the tomatoes are, beautiful. What we want to happen now is the tomatoes to soften and to get some juices out of the tomato, which make it really good. And again, as I mentioned before, flavor every step of the way, every level. A little more salt and pepper. Let's check the pasta. It's coming along nicely. Now, what I like to do when I'm cooking is shop for seasonal ingredients. That's why I chose the asparagus today. I like to cook with what's in season. Sometimes you'll want to be making a certain recipe and you go to the store and you find out, well, that ingredient looks brown or it doesn't look fresh. It's not worth buying, it's not worth making. So try to go with what's in season, and freshness is key. Freshness in an ingredient is a #1 thing that'll make your dish taste great. So I'm going to give this another stir. This will probably take a couple minutes. Oh, it looks great. Another tip I have for cooking is the first time that you make a recipe, it's really important that you read the recipe over 2 times. Because when you read it once, you're definitely going to miss something. And then you're going to say, oh, I shouldn't put that at room temperature. Oh, I forgot to buy something. So read the recipe twice, and you'll be happy that you did. The second part then is to put all your ingredients out. It's called mise en place in French. And that is to have all your ingredients out in front of you available as you're moving along on your recipe. Because if you're trying to pull them out of the refrigerator as you go along, you're going to be stressed out. So make cooking fun, make it easy, and you'll love it. Now I'm starting to see the juices coming out of the tomatoes. It looks really good and it smells good. Maybe I'll give it a taste. You know, that's always the fun part of cooking too, when you get to taste everything. I definitely enjoy that part. So let's see if we need any more salt. Try a piece of asparagus. Pretty good. And, excellent. I am going to add a little salt and pepper. And guess what? I think it may be that time to add our secret ingredient.